Good morning, everybody. This is Chet Bolingbrook, and today we are going to look at some of the gameplay elements of Wizardry V, including exploration and combat and puzzle solving. So I'm going to begin by firing up the game here. As you can see from the introductory screens, this was developed by Andrew Greenberg, who co-developed the first 4 games as well. And as you can see, and as if you know if you've been reading my blog, the overall interface to the game has not changed at all since the first Wizardry game. That first game had been developed 7 years earlier to this one. This is 1988. The first one came out in 1981. And as I've remarked in my blog, it was sort of gutsy of Surtech, the company that made the series, to continue offering the same gameplay experience for 7 years, while other games like Ultima and Pool of Radiance and so forth had come out in the meantime and had done a lot more with graphics and encounters and other aspects of gameplay. Anyway, we start in the castle here, and I'm going to go to Gilgamesh's Tavern and add my characters to my party. Now I've got 6 characters that I actually adventure with here: Blackadder, Jack Burton, Outlander, Crooked Bee, Notnault, and Beautiful Clown. The other 2 characters that you saw in there, Pack Mule and Identifier, are for specific purposes. One just uses inventory to store some quest items that I don't think I need anymore, but I don't want to drop them just in case. And Identifier is a priest, the only class that can actually identify unknown equipment. That character saves me a lot of money when he actually works anyway. So having added my characters to my party, I am going to go ahead and enter the maze. It always starts us in the same place on level 1 of the maze, but my characters have progressed all the way down to level 6, and that's where we're going to explore today. Now, rather than walk all the way down to level 6, my mage has gotten all of her spell levels, and she has learned the spell Maelor, which allows us to teleport to most parts of the dungeon. There are some areas that you can't access through the spell. So I am going to take a look at her character sheet here and go ahead and cast that spell. Oddly, my mage, for some reason, has certain levels of priest spells. I have no idea how that happened. I just suddenly noticed they were there one day. I don't know if it was a corruption or some item that I found or some encounter that I found gave me those spells. They don't seem to be advancing at all as I play, but she's able to cast all the priest spells of those levels. I have no idea really how that came about. It didn't seem to happen to any of my other characters, but the mage is only supposed to have mage spells. Only the bishop has priest spells, so I'm not sure how that happened. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cast Maelor, and I'm going to tell the game to teleport me down 5 levels to level 6. You have to be very careful about entering coordinates here, because if you accidentally teleport to a place that doesn't have a legitimate dungeon square, you end up teleporting into rock and you lose your entire party. As I found out painfully a couple of times and had to restore backups, you can't even recover your party legitimately at that point. You actually lose them permanently. So I had to restore backups a couple times when I entered a coordinate carelessly. So now I've teleported to level 6 of the dungeon, and before I go anywhere, I'm going to go ahead and have a Beautiful Clown cast a few spells. One of them, Litho Fate, causes me to hover so I don't fall into any pit traps. Another one, Maporfic, permanently lowers my armor class, at least for the duration of the expedition. And another one called Lomilwa, casts a powerful light spell so I can see a few steps ahead of me in the dungeon. It's supposed to help with secret doors too, but I don't know just that it has had any real effect on secret doors. Okay. So I'm starting here in the on the dungeon, and what I'm going to do is walk to a particular area of the dungeon, probably hit some combats along the way, and show you a couple examples of different encounters. So right now I'm consulting my map at the same time that I'm playing, and I'm taking myself to an area of the dungeon that I know has a magic pool. Now I've made an encounter of a wandering group of Yomamas. That's a clever name, Surtek. However, if I go ahead and attack them, my characters will turn evil or neutral, because attacking monsters that don't actually attack you right away causes your alignment to shift. So I'm going to leave and keep moving. And now I've gotten myself into another encounter. I didn't actually mean to come this way. A frozen slime. Now he's only one enemy, and I know from experience these guys aren't too hard, so I'm just going to fast combat here. I'll explain combat more when I actually have a difficult one to deal with. My thief is going to inspect the chest. He finds out the trap has an astral cube, and now he's going to disarm that. Here's another place you don't want to misspell as you're typing, otherwise you'll trigger the trap. And I'm going to have to go through a couple of tries probably. There we go. And I found some equipment. That's nice. Okay, I meant to go this way the first time. Bollocks. Here I am recording a video and I managed to get myself lost. Let's try that again. Oh, not this thing. Alright, so I fast combated that one, but I shouldn't have, because the enemy petrified one of my characters. So I need to cast a spell called Mahdi to unpetrify her. There we go. Okay, this is going to be a tougher one. Thankfully, I surprised the monsters, so I get a free round of attacks. But I know from experience that these monsters are quite difficult. Frost giants manage to stomp the hell out of you and cast some, I forget what kind of spell, but and Yomamas are quite difficult as well. The only thing that's easy here are the strange animals, which I think are probably snow leopards. They don't do a lot of damage. I don't even think I want to risk combat this time, so I'm just going to run. And all that does in the game is take you back a step, but then it allows you to pick up from there with no ill penalties. So here's a lich. This one ought to be pretty easy. It's just one of them, and I get a surprise round of attacks. So I'm just going to let my characters kill him. They'll probably kill him in the first round. Yep. It's nice when those easy ones come your way. Oh, I hate these things. This is the same thing that petrified me just a minute ago. Hopefully I can kill him before he does it this time. I hate wasting those Mahdi spells. Those Mahdi spells, he cast a Lahalito. That's a mass damage spell, so a bunch of my characters just took a lot of damage. But they'll be okay. But thankfully I didn't have to waste another Mahdi spell. Those are kind of precious. So we're going through the corridors here, and we come ultimately... Oh, for the love of God. Okay. I'm going to run from these guys too, because I just don't feel like dealing with them right now. We come ultimately to this room here, which has a very common type of encounter in the game, a well. Okay, and there's a lot of places in the game where you encounter these different wells, and you have the option of swimming to different levels of the well. You have a chance of drowning every time you swim, and occasionally there aren't many particularly useful things to find in these wells, but occasionally something crucial happens, so you have to try every level and explore every level. And this one I know that there's a particular item that I need down at the bottom of the well. So I'm going to have Crooked B, my thief, go ahead and wade into the well. Now Crooked B has a rubber ducky equipped, which makes him immune from any drowning. So I know that he won't die as he dives down to the lowest level of the well. And rather than watch it tell me slowly as he descends through 15 levels, I'm just going to hit enter, and that'll take care of it really quickly. And at the bottom, I face an encounter with Lady Neptune, 3 Tritons, and 3 Submariners. She looks quite fierce. So I need to take care of her quickly. I know from experience that she casts some mass damage spells, which can wipe out my party quite quickly. So I'm going to have all of my first 4 characters, my combat characters, actually my first 3, I'm going to have them simply fight her. They're all pretty good fighters. Blackadder's a lord, Jack Burton a samurai, and Outlander a fighter, and they do a pretty good job with their attacks. Crooked B, I'm going to have hide. If Crooked B is successful in hiding, he has the chance to ambush some enemy, probably Lady Neptune, the next round, backstab basically. Not is going to cast a spell called Ma Bariko, which does mass damage to every monster. And Beautiful Clown is also going to cast a spell called Tilto-Wait, which is probably the most powerful mass damage spell in the game. And so we'll see what happens. Well, that didn't do a lot of damage to her. That one was a little bit better. She's going to take at least 2 rounds, I know from experience. The Triton just poisoned Outlander. And the Tilt-A-Wait came in with the roll was high on this. I think the maximum it does is 100, and it's doing a lot more. It's doing almost 100 for everybody, except for Lady Neptune, who I really needed it to damage. She's apparently immune to the spell. But I think I got... yeah, I got all of her minions with that first spell, and the Mabariko that Not cast barely did anything extra. Okay, so Crooked B did successfully hide, so now in addition to my first 3 characters attacking her, Crooked B is going to ambush, or try to ambush her, and maybe backstab her. Not I'm going to go ahead and have him cast, just because I'll need to eventually, a Latumofis Cure Poison spell on Outlander. And Beautiful Clown, I'm going to have her try a Szalik. It's a damage spell that only damages a single character. I think I'm doing overkill now. Probably she'll die within the first couple of hits, but we don't want to take any chances because she can really kick my butt if she wants to. That's some nice damage there. Oh, he only hit her for 10 damage. That didn't do a whole lot. She resisted the Szalik, and now she's breathing. Thankfully, her breath isn't doing that much damage to me. It can do a lot more. There's a spell I can use to protect against breath weapons. I should have cast probably at the beginning. Outlander just got cured, and now she's dead. Okay, so really good experience for that combat, and now I've got a chest. Now I'm going to inspect the chest with my thief, and he says the trap is Rainbow Ray. But I don't want to take any chances on this one. So I'm going to also have my priest cast a Calfo, which helps to identify the trap, and he confirms that it's Rainbow Ray. But if I try to disarm the wrong trap, that always goes off, and that's no fun. So I'm going to try to disarm it now with Crooked B, Rainbow Ray. I disarmed it, and I found what I needed to find, a card. I don't know what I have to use these for later, but there's a couple of places where you find these different cards, and I assume that they come in handy later on. So, with that done, I'm going to go ahead and go to a different part of the level, and rather than make you watch as I walk the corridors, I will pause it until I get there. I'm unpausing it to show this combat briefly. I'm facing 2 wraiths and 21 skeletons in 3 different groups. Now the skeletons aren't terribly hard, but the wraiths, I want to make sure I take those out quickly as possible because they do level drains, and there's nothing I hate worse than level drainers. Levels are hard enough to combat to come by in this game as it is, without having to deal with these creatures that take them away from you. So I'm going to have my first 4 characters all attack the wraiths. Not because he's a priest, can try to dispel or turn the skeletons, so I'm going to have him try to do that on the most numerous group. And Beautiful Clown, I'm going to have her cast a probably a La Halito. Actually, to illustrate something, I'm going to have her cast a Lokara. A Lokara spell tries to kill everything. It doesn't have a terribly good chance of success, but it's fun when it works. So not a good start, but thankfully the Wraith missed. The first one did anyway. Hopefully the second one will miss too. Not and I'll just got rid of 8 of the skeletons. So here's the Lokara, and it's not doing a terribly good job on any of the creatures. One just died. One of them resisted. Another one just died. It's a fun spell when it actually works, because it tends to take care of a lot of the creatures at once. And I'm just going to hit enter to finish this off, because otherwise it'll take a while. But please, I'm hoping the Wraith does not drain me. Ah, thankfully I just killed him, so that's not going to be a danger anymore. Skeletons are doing a pretty good job kicking my butt, though. Oh no, the Wraith still got a chance to attack, but he missed too, so okay. Alright, so now I'm feeling better. What I'm going to do is have Blackadder, who is a lord and thus has some priestly abilities, try to dispel the first group of skeletons. Jack Burton is going to attack the Wraith along with Outlander, along with Crooked Bee. They should be able to take out that Wraith. Not going to dispel the third group of skeletons, and Beautiful Clown is going to cast a Halito, very basic damage spell, on that last single skeleton. Maybe I can take them all out in this one thing. Thankfully there goes the Wraith, so I don't have to worry about getting level drained anymore. And so now it's just a matter of... Nope. Skeleton did not fall to that spell, but these guys are pretty easy at this point. So there we go. Okay, I'm going to continue on to that place I was heading. Okay, I finally made it back to where I was trying to go. Had some combats on the way. My party is not in great shape, as you can see, but I'm where I wanted to be. So this is an example of another type of common encounter in the game, where I have encountered a jolly mannequin droops lifelessly inside a strange-looking contraption. Behind the colorful figure is a dark glass panel, and resting beside it is a small box of metal parts. And in order to get past this guy, I need to learn how to put the thing back together. Well, in order to do that, I had to awaken somebody called Yogg earlier, who gave me the instructions for doing that. In order to awaken Yogg, I had to get a gold medal from another character on the level, and so forth, going all the way back to the first level. It's just it's typical adventure game stuff where you have to get one item to get a second item to get a third item, all the way to the current point. So I know from the instructions that were given to me by Yogg, the way to take care of this is to first turn the crank, then to the chain, then the cog, then the axle, then the wheel, then the spring, and finally the lever. And you can imagine how long it would have taken me to get this if I had to try all the possible combinations in order. And so I have successfully repaired this this mannequin. And now I can take the Ice Ferry to the home of the Ice King. And I haven't done that yet, so I don't really know what I'm going to experience when I do. But I will pay the fee. And it takes me down an ice slide to the cavern of the Ice King. Now there's a key here, a lock here rather, and I happen to have a key called the Ice Key, which I'm sure is the thing to use here. So I'm going to use the Ice Key that Blackadder is carrying, and nothing happens until the cavern starts to rumble. There we go. Now there's a chute, and I have finally landed in the Temple of Ice, where I'm facing an encounter with the Rabuna Ice King. Now, it is extremely likely, given that I'm encountering a high-level creature along with 4 Yomamas, that I'm about to die. But that's okay. I want to illustrate what happens when one dies. Assuming I can't defeat him. Maybe we shouldn't assume that just yet. I'll give it everything I have. Actually, I'm going to have Not Nalt cast a Montino. That's a spell, a silent spell that makes if it works, that makes the Yomamas unable to cast anything. Beautiful Clown is going to cast a Tilt-A-Wait. Hopefully I can take them all out fairly quickly if that works. Well, that Montino is going to be fairly useless since the Yomamas are all dead from this spell. But it was good to have a backup plan anyway. So let's see if I can just kill the Ice King. Now, he's blasting me with a Ladalto. That's a really, really high level damage spell. And Crooked B just died. And so did Not Nalt, the only person who can heal Crooked B. So, I'm left with, at least I'm left with my fighters, but they have 1, 2, and 4 hit points respectively. Well, let's see if I can get through this. I'll have her cast a Zalek. With luck, I will take him out. And I did. And her Zalek was wasted. But I have defeated the Ice King. Crooked B is dead. So, I hope he didn't... Oh shoot, he does have something that I need, I think. Well, my entire party is about to die. Because I have no choice. No, I suppose I have a choice to come back and fight him again later. I guess that's what I'll do. And I'll get the thing that he carries after that. So I'm going to leave the chest alone, and I'm going to pray that Beautiful Clown can get me out of here. Alright, I'm on level 6, 8 east, 25 south. She's got 1 level 9, level 7 spell left, and I'm going to use it. Shoot, I already forgotten the numbers. 8 east, 25 south. Which means I have to go west 8, north 25, and up 5 if I want to get out of here. Cross your fingers. Oh, it worked. Yay. So I am now back in the castle with my 2 dead characters removed from my party. So this will give me a chance to show a couple more castle things before I call it a day. So I'm going to go to the Temple of Cant, and actually first I'm going to go to Gilgamesh's Tavern and make sure Blackadder has all the gold, 48,739 pieces. I hope that's enough. I'll go to the Temple of Cant, and I will help Not Nalt. Got enough gold, so Blackadder will pay to resurrect him. I haven't really worked out my character's genders. Thankfully it worked. And I will also resurrect Crooked B. I've had to go through this process many, many times in this game. So now I don't know why it gives me the option to help Evil Eyes. Evil Eyes is an NPC, as you might guess from the name, not a particularly nice one, who I had to kill earlier. So I'm certainly not going to resurrect him. He was kind of mad because I stole something from him, so I guess he had a reason to be angry. But I'm still not going to resurrect him. So now I will go to Gilgamesh's Tavern and reconstitute my party. Notice their hit points are all extremely low, but that's not a problem because I'll enter the maze, And I will have Not an Alt cast Mahdi spells for everybody. You can only cast 4 at a time, but that's fine. I'll just leave and enter the maze again. Every time you re-enter the maze, you get all your spell levels back. Okay, and now I'm fine. So I'm going to go back up. I'm going to go to Boltax Trading Post and identify the equipment that I've found. So I have found a shield, which I'll identify. That's a heater +2. I think I might be able to use that. Yeah, Blackadder has a heater +1, so he's going to get a little upgrade on his shield. And let's see what else I got here. The card, which turns out to be a Queen of Hearts. And I got a sword and some armor. Sword is something called a Soul Stealer. I have not found that before. I don't know whether it's cursed or not. I'll have to treat that one with care. And a plate mail +2. Wow. So, and I think the best I have is plate mail +1 right now. So we got some good stuff here. Let's go to Gilgamesh's Tavern here, and I will have Outlander trade his heater, the heater that he found, to Blackadder, who will now equip it. Unfortunately, when you equip, you have to re-equip all your equipment. But now his armor class is -4. And then, let's see, Jack Burton, as a samurai, can't use plate mail, but Outlander can. So he got an upgrade in his armor. And now I can go back to Boltax and sell the items that I just unequipped. Money is very important in this game for resurrections and identification, so I want to conserve all that I can. Finally, I'm going to go to the Adventurer's Inn and have each character rest for a while and see if I can get any levels. And it doesn't look like anybody had enough experience to make the next level, so I couldn't illustrate that. But I hope I illustrated enough aspects of gameplay in Wizardry 5 that you get a pretty good sense of how it works. Thank you all for watching, and read the rest of the game on my blog. Talk to you soon.